this blog today, or in this video, I will show you how to make a blog with Typerepo. First of all, I'm going to typerepo.com, as you can see, and I'll open GitHub. And I'll just go ahead and clone the repository. So first I'm going to open a terminal, and I'm going to my folder in the cloned folder where I clone all my repositories, and I'll clone it and I'll call it test blog. Okay. It's about 100 megabytes because there's currently a lot of static assets in the GitHub repo, but if you have a steady internet connection, that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, there we go. So now let's go to the folder, test blog, and open it in VS Code. It says here that it's a workspace. You can open it as a workspace. So then we have it open as a VS Code workspace, which is better. And now we can just yarn install it, which will take less than a minute. And after that, we can yarn dev to start up the server and show the starting entry point of Typerepo. We can also open up the codestory's web app. And we can either go and do that through this one by clicking here, or if we want to do it with debugging, we can open a new terminal and run yarn dev in codestory's web itself. If we click that button here, it will launch it in the background, which is also easier, but maybe not what you want if you want to debug. So as you can see, it launches the code stories, and there's no code stories currently. That's why you don't see anything. But the idea of code stories is that it can basically find your code stories anywhere. So it should be possible to write a code story here, for example, and just say, is code story true? And then you can write your code story. The thing then that you don't need to forget is that you need to make your code story first. So to do that, there's a script here, write all code stories. And this will basically search for all your markdown files in your code base that have is code story true, and it will parse it into a code story. Well, it seems that it didn't work because it's not part of a package, I believe, and that's why it should be in a folder here in the packages. So let's try it again and see if that works. Yes, so that's the difference. You need to make sure that your to-do folder is in an operation in the packages folder, otherwise it's gonna fail. As you can see, there is a new file created called a codestory.md file, and it has the same text inside but it has some extra parsing. For example, if I refer to package.json, for example, and then I write my code story again, you will see that the code of the package.json will get attached, or at least the description, which it can't find. But at least you see that it augments your markdown with new information about the code that you're writing. It's also very easy to use the writer UI with this, and more specifically the to-do writer, which is to-do web. You can just run yarn dev in there, and you will be able to find all your to-dos inside of the writer UI. So there it is, for example, my first code story, and my first code story. So this is the one that we're going to edit, and this is the one that's going to be generated. So if we want to have, for example, a banner, we can do it like this by clicking on About and adding a header image. For example, I don't know. Let's see. Where do I have an image? Oh, this is nice. So we click there, it's added, and it will be able to be shown now, because now the header image is set to heron1. So if I would generate my code story again now, it would add that also to the code story, of course. So let's have a look now again at the code stories web user interface, and now you can see that it appears here. And if you click there, you see that it has a beautiful, very pixeled logo in the header. So this is how we can work with assets and the writer UI and make the code story. We can also change the code stories web interface or layout by just changing the layout. For example, if you want to make it orange, you can do that. And you can change anything, of course. This is just the layout, and here is some other things that you can change. And of course, you are completely free to do whatever you want in React. And let's make it orange. So now it looks a bit like this, a bit more orangey. Still not awesome, but looks better. So that's cool. What else can we do? So now I think if you want to deploy it first and then later improve it, you can already do that by just removing the Git folder first, because we want to make our own Git repository. And we're going to initiate a new one. We can branch out to main. We can make it a bit bigger so you can see it better. And then add everything there. Commit it. And then remote edit. So let's call it block 1. And now, of course, we need to create that in our Git, because it doesn't exist yet. So let's make a new repository. dot blog 1. And let's create it. So there we go, and you see that this is also the line that I just did. And now we can already push it there. So once it's available there, all you need to do is log into your Vercel account, add your project with Git, hub, there it is. And now all you need to do is select Next.js there and make sure that you get the folder. Well, because it's not pushed yet, it's still going. We need to wait a little longer and refresh it once it's done. It's still uploading. There we go, and there it is. So let's refresh. Let's check it out. In apps, we have the codestories web. Continue there, and select Next.js and deploy. What's going to happen now is Vercel will pull your Git repository. You can see it here in the building tab. It will fetch all your files, it will install it, it will build your website, and then it will deploy it to the edge. So all the files are static, all the assets are going to be copied in from the monorepo, from anywhere, and then it will be deployed. So after that you can also choose your domain, and it will be live anywhere. Of course, this was a very short introduction. If you want to improve it, go ahead. You can make your own blog, you can do everything you want because it's just a Next.js project. But the cool thing about Typerepo is that we have support for code stories and that we have support for adding Markdown from anywhere into your next project and show it as HTML in your website. Let's wait a little more. I want some confetti. Installation can take a couple minutes usually. Another cool thing about Typerepo is that the writer user interface will automatically convert all the assets you upload to make sure they are like not too big and they are in formats that the web supports. For example, it will be converted into MP3, MP4, PNG, so you don't have to worry about that, as long as you use the writer user interface and upload your files through there. But if you want to, you can also do it raw in Markdown and just do it like this. And if you want to add a file that you already put there yourself, you can just do it like this. So you don't need to use the writer user interface. It's just a handy tool to make it easier for you. So there we go, it's done. Now it's assigning domain, running checks, and boom, party. So there we are, our blog is live. Here we can add a domain if we want. So if you want to add any blog domain, you just fill it in here and Vercel will tell you what to do next for assigning the right DNS record to your domain, and then it's live on your domain as well. There it is. I'm happy the asset is there too. It all works perfectly fine. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.